Alright guys, so welcome to another episode. Now, this is, I feel like an off-tone video for what kind of energy we like to give off here.
Positive energy.
Exactly.
Like give off positive energy.
Yeah, we like to talk about shit.
Good vibes.
Games we really like. And we love, these games that are on the table. And they represent a period for Japanese games that was amazing. It was still riding the wave, and there's one developer that I think that all of us, if you had asked us in 2005, what are your favorite developers, and I think we would all say Konami because of the amazing games they came out with, like Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Castlevania, Suikoden. What else have they made? I'm sure I'm forgetting.
They made Contra, Goemon, or Mystical Ninja,
Turtles in Time. They did make Turtles in Time.
Several very large, well-selling, celebrated franchises that were pillars of gaming in 2003-04. But then something happened.
What did happen? Because I feel like, Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and there was hype for that. That came out in, 2008? And I remember, a lot of people got PS3s to get Metal Gear Solid 4. And, it was well-received. But what was coming out from the Silent Hill front were kind of Konami just, being, hot potato with the franchise. They were like, hey, you try something. Hey, you try something. Please, don't ruin it this time. And I feel like they've really lost their way. And I feel like that, they had that. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah. What is going on,
what
Konami?
Happened?
You had do you still have people who would, if you put a lot of care and effort into one of these franchises again, the fans would come flocking back.
We'll show up.
Yeah, for sure.
People were so excited just about PT, and that was a demo. And now if you can get that demo, you can charge a pretty penny for your PS4.
That might be the lowest point for Konami, for me personally, is when they're like, guess what? We got Mastermind Hideo Kojima to reboot the Silent Hill franchise.
You know that dream project you've always wanted?
With Guillermo del Toro.
Guess what? We're making this.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, guess what?
Yeah.
We're not.
Oops.
We're not.
And seriously.
What the fuck, Konami?
And then they tear Kojima away from Metal Gear 5, and they don't let him touch it. He still works there, and they sat him in an office, and here's your job, and they're gonna make your game. And
that game was bad.
Well, yeah,
that game was bad.
Well, it just wasn't a Metal Gear game
for
to
it, and
me.
it just I know that you were not feeling it immediately, and I was just no man, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And then it was at one point it was I can't keep saying this anymore. I'm trying, but I'm I don't care.
Yeah.
I think that was a passage from Kojima's diary towards the end of development of that game. It's gonna get better, I think. I hope. Fuck.
You could kind of watch that game evaporate as it went on, because the opening was awesome, and it was classic Kojima, very cinematic, very well done. And I was oh my god, if this is what the game's I'm gonna be in heaven.
I'm pretty sure everybody thought that.
Yeah,
because that was phenomenal. Because that got me super excited for the game.
The trailer was amazing.
Everything was great until you actually played it.
Metal Gear 5 had some of the best trailers. I thought that their trailers were fantastic.
Set to that New Order song.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that got me so hyped for the game.
And then, it just
fizzled,
fell on its face right when it came out, because the story it was present at the beginning, and then you played the game, and usually a Metal Gear game's 10 hours, 10-15 hours. And this one could potentially be a 60 or 70 hour game, because it's all about doing these missions. And it's introduced in Peace Walker for the PSP, this kind of mission based system, and they really took it all the way in 5. And
there's no reward, because it was I feel one of the big things about Metal Gear games is that you have it's so story driven, and you have so many cutscenes. and I know that the people complain that some cutscenes were like way too long.
Well, that's the thing. I think 5 was a huge reaction to 4 because 4 had like people like the cutscenes.
But this was absurd because you don't get any kind of like you play through the game, you keep doing missions, but you don't get any like. What am I like?
It's not what's the point of it? Metal Gear games are very narrative driven. Like people complain about cutscenes, and yes, 4 did have some exceptionally long cutscenes, but their games are loaded with cutscenes. Like it's just what they are, and usually they're really well done because Kojima's a really good storyteller. But you could totally tell that like 5 just like I played as long as I could, and I was like, what do I do next? Like what's the story? Like it just did not feel present to me, and that was like one of those first moments where I was like, uh-oh. Because after 4, I was still into it. I was like preaching 4, and I was like, oh my god, I really enjoyed it. Metal Gear rocks. And then like it was like PT news had come just before that came out, so it was already kind of like a sour atmosphere going into it. And then they just came out with Metal Gear Survive, which like made the fan base like broil because it was like an insult almost because there's obviously some pushback by the fans who enjoyed the narrative elements of Metal Gear, who were really riled up, and like social media went crazy. Anything about that game that was on social media would get slammed in the comments, slammed like on. You get so many frowny faces on Facebook.
It just seemed like the actions of a developer or a publisher that it just lost touch with what made that property good and what made that series special. It seemed like a cash-in on the work of somebody that wanted to do something completely different with that engine.
Reminds me of Call of Duty Zombies. Like it's the same, like same thing. It's just like let's do zombies in Metal Gear and let's have some time travel. I mean, like I just feel like if there's any way to spit in the fans' faces, it was that. In fact, to an extent that I think Kotaku came out with this article where they uncovered like hidden messages about the producers and directors on Metal Gear Survive, and like they were just like calling them cowards, like terrible, like, and you know, very heated words.
One of them was help, I'm trapped in a Konami development lab. I'm stuck in a Chinese fortune cookie factory. If you took the name Metal Gear off of that game and played it, would there be anything in there that would even signify to you that that's a Metal Gear game aside from maybe some art assets and some of the heads-up display and maybe aspects of the gameplay? I guess really what I'm saying is like narratively, was there anything in that game?
Exactly.
No, it feels like a total milking. It's just right off the bat. It's just like, how can we rape this? Kojima's out the door. He can't protect you anymore. Get it out here. Like, it seriously is, like, I just imagine, and, like, Kojima, then they got into industrial-sized freezers, and, like, they do pachinko machines, I think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel like the, like, on the game side from Konami, it's just, like, if you don't want to make games anymore, just don't. Because go do it all the way, or just don't do it.
I guarantee you're not going to see any new IP, video game-wise, come out of Konami. You're going to see them sort of trot out their franchises and their IP and what they have. You'll see Metal Gear Survive. You might see, like, Contra Legends or some bullshit.
Silent Hill Alive.
They repurpose what they own. And I guess some suit has crunched the numbers on this and has proven it, otherwise. But, like, it just makes so much more sense to me. Sell these franchises, sell these IPs to directors and publishing houses that care about them, that can make good games. Konami will get a cut of that, and the franchise will live on. The revenue will keep coming in. But what they're doing right now is they're just hammering these things into the grave. Silent Hill is hanging on by a thread, and Metal Gear is not far behind.
Hanging on by a thread is very generous. I feel like Silent Hill is fucking dead.
Yeah.
Let's be frank about it. What has been out there about Silent Hill since PT? Nothing.
I felt like that was their last grab when that happened, and then when that got tanked, it's just like, oh, well, that's gone.
Like, I still do really want to hear the back room, behind the music drama of what tanked PT. And I guess, I don't remember the timeline, but I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the toxicity of Kojima and Konami's relationship.
The executives,
And that probably bricked the whole thing. But, Del Toro and Kojima and Ritas are now off making their own game.
At Sony, and I think Sony's like arms wide open. Kojima.
Right.
Because Death Stranding looks so like out there.
Yeah.
Like that makes me think Sony's just like, here's the money.
Basically, a new Silent Hill game in a way, kind of, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah. Like,
too soon to say, but hopefully.
But like, yeah, and it's funny now that like, I mean, kind of off topic, but Del Toro won the Oscar. And like Konami essentially fired Del Toro, and it's just kind of like Konami.
Well done.
Yeah,
who's calling the shots over there? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, it's so stupid. So, like,
You're being too creative.
Yeah.
You need to tone it down.
They like gave out.
It's too critically acclaimed. You're making too much money. You're making too many people happy. You have to stop that.
Kojima is like probably one of the household names, probably because you always see a Hideo Kojima game on everything. Like when it comes to like game directors, like, you know, probably a casual gamer doesn't know one, but if they did, it would probably be
Kojima's probably one of the top
names
that would get recognized.
So,
like
and for Konami to throw that away, like it must have been so toxic.
There must have been a huge battle of egos, and I don't know how easy Kojima is or isn't to work for, but Konami definitely has a track record of just fucking all of this up. So I'm willing to give Kojima the benefit of the doubt on that.
Well,
They've tanked too many other franchises, like for me to think that it's the director.
What are the odds of Konami like getting with it? Like is there any glimmer of hope? Because Harrison was talking about.
There was one
Here's
thing
a
that
big silver lining.
Yeah. It's okay. So Bomberman came out on the Switch, and that was one of the like first titles release date you could pick Bomberman up. And there were some issues with it, and Konami actually addressed them and fixed them with a patch. And good for them, they didn't just leave a broken game. And so then after that, they released some free DLC where you could play Silent Hill characters in Bomberman. And it was like fun little guys, like chibi pyramid head and whatever. And that's cool. And like I think like especially after talking about all this, like this seems like it's a little rough.
Well,
it's like they're trying to do something good, and I see that there is good in what they did in that instant, but like they're really butchering.
I think that's consistent with what I said about how they're gonna try to milk as much money as they can out of what they already own.
Yeah.
With all the IP and properties that they already have. But they're not really going to break any backs trying to make a new engine, or come up with a new series, or come up with a new like AAA installment to any of these series. Like you're not going to see Metal Gear Solid 6 come out of Konami. Or maybe you will. I don't know. But without Kojima and his team involved, I don't know what it's going to be worth.
Back then though, it was a different landscape for games. Like I feel like Japanese games were much more competitive. Like, I feel like that most games back then were Japanese. And, like, I feel like, it's been 13 years, 14 years since these have come out. And the landscape has changed dramatically. And I feel like the Japanese, development world is not quite as strong as it once was. Really, if you break it down, like, who do you have who are, like, big competitors? Like, you got Square, you got Nintendo, Platinum Games, like... Is there? Am I like Bandai Namco?
Japanese studios.
Japanese
Namco, Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
They're known by many names.
Yeah. From Software.
From Software is a little guy and a big pool, but we love From obviously.
So.
Square and Enix merged. Konami sort of pieced out. Capcom's not doing much these days. The Japanese game development studios are either falling by the wayside or they're merging up with other studios and they're monopolizing. So it's a very different landscape now than it was back when you and I were younger and playing, when these games came out. And I think part of that's because of Western game development and taste sort of shifting. I think part of it's because is graphic fidelity and graphic capabilities get more pronounced. Development cycles become more expensive and are lengthened, and they have to be a little bit more, or publishers have to be a little bit more aggressive with what they're going to finance and greenlight. And I think at some point in the past, Konami had a hard look at, what was making money and what wasn't, and they decided, fuck video games, we're going into the refrigerator market.
Yeah. Woo! And I bet that boardroom meeting, they all stood and applauded.
I'm sure that was a real
yeah. The shareholders were like, no more Kojima. We were paying that guy $10,000 a year.
Oh, and you do have to pay Konami $5 every time you name drop the Konami code.
That's right, yeah.
I got an angry letter the other day. Said I owed them $22.50.
But I feel that, we could be doom and gloomy about the Japanese gaming world, but, I still feel like, though, as time goes on, times will change.
This is how we should.
And some of our beloved things will fall off, and maybe they'll come back one day. And honestly, I'm still happy to have the companies I really like a lot, and I feel like that I'm lucky that Square and Nintendo are still around and still are vibrant. So I'm happy about that. But Konami has just died. Capcom's kind of showing a little resurgence with Monster Hunter, which sold over 7 million, which was a huge surprise.
Hey, let's not forget about RE7.
Yeah, RE7
did great sales.
Yeah. RE7 actually it did get really good sales, but it did not get. It only made half of what Resident Evil 6 made, which is shocking to me.
So you had
which was aimed at the Western market.
It increasingly feels, and I'm guessing it probably feels even more so to publishers and developers. It feels like you can have a commercially successable game, or you can have a critically acclaimed game, but you really can't have both.
You
usually can't have both, unless you're Nintendo. In which case, every single
Grand Theft Auto
is But the landscape has changed, for sure.
Yeah, but I do feel, though, the Japanese games really suffered over the past decade, but I think they've come back recently. I think that the past few years they're coming back.
They're trying, and I do feel like Konami is just they're just giving up because Survive, I really don't understand.
That's a cash grab.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get that, but it's that's such a poor play, and you didn't think people were going to see exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, what demographic does that appeal to?
You're
not
just hurting yourself.
Not Call of Duty fans.
Anything by doing this.
Who the fuck is it for?
I don't know.
Who's that game for?
It kind of blows my mind because I don't know anybody that was oh yeah, I'm excited for that. No, nobody was excited for that.
Right.
Especially when they found out that it was I don't know. It just seems it's just such a weird thing to do, but it's what some companies do. Cash grab. This is it.
Well, it just seems like they're so out of touch with, what video gamers want, or what gamers want, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel we're really getting abstract here, but it's what you have a market out there, and you want to take advantage of that market as much as possible for your brand. And companies will do that. That's in the nature of the beast.
And it's understandable to a point.
But I do feel, though, as long as they're still pumping out quality content and doing that, cool. It's we're kind of have debatable feelings amongst us about the Final Fantasy 15 Narrative Edition. We're really getting off track here. Konami, fuck you! Fuck you, Konami! Yeah.
But hey, we buy if you want to come out with Suikoden 6.
Yeah. Seriously.
I'd buy it.
But I will just say quickly to what you just said, that they're still making good, it's good quality and overall.
Yeah, for sure.
This is insulting. This isn't this is no I get the comparison, but in my opinion, there is really not a comparison to what Konami is doing at the moment.
There isn't. No, they're on their own island.
Yeah,
they had
given up.
What is that? You have huge fan bases just
it's
out there.
It's out there.
It's built in. It's a legacy, and you're just the fridges need to be 1 degree colder now. That's the boardroom meeting. So.
There's some spreadsheet out there that probably makes all of these decisions make sense.
Oh yeah,
but
we're not privy to
those.
God damn it. Come on.
Like fridges are just really profitable.
Like Konami. Like I know that it sounds like we've written you off,
but deep down in our
we're
heart,
kicking all you down. But if
this is coming from a place of love.
But if you
really
try,
is.
if you try again, we will pay attention, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll pay attention. So
I want another Metal Gear Solid game. I
Yeah.
want another Silent Hill game. I sure as shit want another Suikoden game.
yeah.
So just make them. For me, if no one else, please.
There's a future.
Please.
There's a future. Well, all right, Konami, you got the message. And like, if you really disagree with our opinion, I feel like we put it on lightly. Like, I watch people on YouTube, and they're like just nasty.
Oh yeah.
And
for sure.
we're pretty nice people, so like for us to get like heated about this, it's kind of should send a message home. Like, you know, we're not just like saying shit all the time, like 1600 Pennsylvania.
And if one of
But
you-
that's it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
And if one of you
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
likes Metal Gear Survive, tell us why. Help us understand it.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I mean, should we play it? Mail us a copy. Cool. Yeah, no, but seriously, let us know what's like. Are we out of touch? Is there anything new? Let us know. All right, thanks,
Like and
guys.
respond in the comments.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye, Konami. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Forget it.